Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Dungeon Boss Hero Spotlight. Today we're going to take a look at one of the newest updates, which is going to be Sir William. Before we get into Sir William, I am going to touch on two other things. There's two other big things that are happening right now. We obviously have the current event for the most part, which is this assassin stuff. I believe it's a new event, but tanking is the primary event right now, but I will cover the assassins update shortly after. I do need to do a little bit of workshopping to see what's up with these guys. All things considered so far, I do like what I see, but I don't know if it's going to be groundbreaking. The other big one is not really related to a hero at all, but something I wanted to point you to, and it does relate to this particular event right now, so whatever you do, spend your resources and get these 50,000 tickets. You definitely want this rune. I guarantee you want this rune. This could possibly be one of the single greatest runes that has ever been released in this game. There's been some really good runes, particularly those energy runes have been kind of meta-shattering, but this one is going to be huge. The fact that you're getting extra defense and extra health, and then you get to force taunt on basically anybody. Now, obviously, this rune can't fit on every single person, but this is going to be a godsend for a lot of people. It's going to give you some serious control when you're going into a dungeon as far as an attacker. And as far as PvP defense goes, it's going to be one of those ones where if you run into a lot of people who don't do rune checking, kind of like I do, where I don't look to see what the runes are because I'm just looking at the team, this could really derail somebody's strategy coming in to attack you. So this is going to force people to start checking runes, because if this tank rune is on someone that they're not expecting, it's going to be, kind of a weird one for them to handle. The reason that I want you to go after this is, like I said, this is a huge rune, and the idea of force taunting is not something that is very readily available, and I don't think this rune is going to be around very frequently, very often. So it's going to be a tough one to get, and after this event here, it may be another 6 months before we even see anything like it again, maybe a year, who knows. But it's not one you're going to be able to ever craft, so get it while you can. So whatever you do, get yourself 50,000 tickets and find a way to get this rune, because it's gonna help you quite a bit. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about the man of the hour. I'm going to be honest, at first glance, I saw the update for Sir William, and I'm like, hey, it's about time, because Sir William, I had really high hopes for him when the Beast team got out of control, because this guy here was the only one that really, besides him and Alex was awful anyways, but he had the Beast Hunter trait, and I'm like, Sir William's got to be the answer to the Beast teams. I tried it 9 ways to Sunday and could not get anything to work. It just wasn't happening. And so I saw this, and I'm like, hey, Sir William update is actually pretty awesome. That's going to be very helpful. We got quite a bit of changes to Sir William, so he's not just, here, let's give you some extra stats, which is good. The downside, I thought it was a little bit short-sighted. I think with an update of this caliber, especially with somebody who's generally a one-star shitty hero, it probably would have been a good idea to release the epic at the same time. So I'm extremely disappointed they didn't go that route. I think with just his mechanics alone, it's not going to be enough to make him groundbreaking and really enter into that stratosphere of everybody using him, like Shade or Hopper or Agnon or Koros, some of those big-time players. So I think he is going to be useful. He will likely be more useful at lower levels, but at the higher game, top 100 and Legend 1 and just the advanced rosters, I don't know that he's going to be worth the roster spot, in my opinion. All right, so what are his actual changes? Nothing on the main page here, so nothing to worry about there. Stats, though, he does have a number of different changes. His attack stat is actually relatively decent for a tank, not bad, and his base defense is actually pretty decent as well. So he's going to be your typical run-of-the-mill tank. Max health, without any type of real bonuses, is actually good. So I don't have any runes, and he caps out at 10,000. So that's actually pretty good. Health is going to be one of his biggest advantages. Armored has not changed. He is still armored. Obviously, he's got the shield, and he's clearly in armor. But we do have a new one. Courageous Knight, can't be feared, and will jump in front of a single target attack that would be a killing blow. This, I think, is going to be the biggest enhancement to Sir William, and I think is going to be how he's going to be used in PvP. So the idea of jumping in front of other attackers, most of us saw and experienced that usually with Hansuke before the big undead change. It was a little bit obnoxious at times, but because then when he would die that way, he would resurrect himself a couple turns later. It was a cool mechanic, and then they kind of just did away with it. But this here, I think, is going to be a very big addition to the PvP meta right now, provided that Sir William can hold up against the other big hitters. So keep an eye on this one. The fact that he can't be feared, I don't think that's really a big deal. That's sort of just an afterthought. But this jumping in front of a killing blow is going to be a big one. And we're actually going to do some actual on-screen testing of this, because there is one other thing that I want to see with that. And I want to know if that is a one-time only thing, or if we resurrect him, it's going to be there again. My big question, or my expectation on that mechanic, is to stop the one-shot train that Agnon is currently leading right now. So this is going to be your one-stop shop of preventing Agnon from, in most cases, killing your Zom or killing your Emily, depending on what type of a team you're running. He has a terrible habit of, no matter what teams I tend to use, Agnon always goes for the most inconvenient person and just totally derails my attack. So hopefully this could be a way to mitigate that. We just have to find a roster comp that's going to work for it. Next up is the Tit for Tat. He borrowed this one, or I guess inherited it from Icepick. So he's going to get some crits, even if he's not elementally advantaged. Nobody's used Icepick in years, so I might as well take his abilities and move him to somewhere else. So next up, Protector of the Realm. I like the name on that one. That's a nod to Game of Thrones. If it's not, then it's just oblivious developers. But Protector of the Realm. So take less damage from Beast, Demon, Monster, and Undead. Pretty much everybody but regular old heroes. And deal two times damage to those types as well. So he basically gets Beast Hunter, Demon Hunter, Monster Hunter, and Undead Hunter. Not bad. I don't know if you guys saw that thing. Sorry. I'm supposed to not get alerts here, but that one kind of was worth a chuckle. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, he basically gets a multi-hunter, which is a pretty good deal, and he gets the guard from them as well. And then this last one, he already had. So the Water Guard 3, increased defense for water allies. So that's going to be helpful. I don't know how many people are going to be running water teams, to be honest. So it's probably not going to be a huge deal, except for in some of those latter PvE dungeons, particularly in the harder boss mode. His abilities, bring it on. Nothing has changed here. That is basically still his taunt. Nothing we can really do about that. That's just a regular old taunt. Guardian Strike hasn't changed either. Buffs defense, no changes there. Energy wise, 5 and 3. Guardian Strike is actually pretty good. New ability, Last Stand. I do love this one here. I don't think as a PvP attacker I'm going to be able to forcefully use this one very often, because I think with his jump in front of death blows mentality, he's going to be dead long before turn 5. So the cool thing about this one is it gives your allies, not just one person or not just him, but it gives all of your allies, not just water allies either, the Unbreakable Heart. The Unbreakable Heart he stole from Ice Bloom. And what that is if you not use Ice Bloom in her heyday, anything that would have been a killing blow, basically shake it off and you get one more chance at 1 hit point. So that's going to be a huge one. Even if it only lasts for 3 turns, that's okay. It might be just enough to save you. So anybody that used Ice Bloom in her heyday and you ran into that Unbreakable Heart and then she retaliated with, for example, a epic attack and got herself a shield, you know that can be a real brutal occurrence. So I don't know how that's going to work in the long run. Like I said, it's going to be something that comes up on the PvP defense more so than PvP offense. But I think it's going to be a really cool effect if you can actually get it to work. It might be more geared towards PvE, if anything. Anyway, so we do want to test one thing. I'm not even going to bother with runes. I don't need runes for the testing that I'm doing here. I'm not going to try and see how quote-unquote strong I can get William. I don't really care about that right now. What I'm curious about is if he dies and I resurrect him, is he going to save somebody else again? So, as I mentioned, he is basically hopefully the counter to Agnon. I got to find myself an Agnon team so I can forcefully have him kill him. Here's one right now. So Agnon's going to go second. That's okay. We're just going to make sure that Sir William is not taunting for one. So I'm going to have somebody else be force taunting. I would use Gortus, but Gortus always loses his taunt, so what I'm going to do here is two things. One, we're going to do Krex as an auto taunt, and then we're going to throw Viperia in there. I don't want to kill anybody, so I'm fully expecting to lose this one, but I want Krex to be auto taunting. And we are going to expect, that's not William, we're going to expect William to jump in front of it. And actually I won't even put Viperia there. I'm going to put, sorry, I can't even find him. There's William. And then I don't even want him next, actually. I want to do Emily. She'll go right after Agnon, that's good. And then we will do Sir William. And then we do have to have Viperia in there to get the Force Taunt. So, the downside to part of this mechanic, the idea of bringing William back, if you used a Perma-Res team with Solaris and Gortus, you'll know that anybody that routinely has Taunt up and is taking blows for somebody else, they're dying a lot anyways. So, we're dealing with cooldowns in terms of resurrections. It's not something that's going to be something that really lasts. Now, unless his defensive and health stats are so supreme that he's able to really take a licking and keep on ticking, that's going to be what it's going to come down to. So we're going to taunt with Krex here. And then Agnon should try to kill him. That should definitely be a death blow. Alright. So that pretty much is all I need to know there. Can't be feared and will jump in front of a single target attack that would be a killing blow against an ally. Something's wrong there. I guess that's the end of our test right there. So I don't know if he if he's taunting, it wouldn't have been that way anyways. So something is amiss here, and so we're gonna leave it at that. So I will I don't know, I'll investigate to see if there's something else in play. We'll have to check the forums, but obviously something is terribly, terribly wrong, because William should have just jumped right in there and said, hey, take me instead, and I feel incredibly ripped off. May as well just play it out now. Let's see if Viperia has something to say to these guys. There's the no runes William. Yeah, eat that, bitch. My Viperia is ruined to the teeth. And there's Agnon always going for Emily. That's pretty much par for the course. And she's going to be dead. But it was fun to kill the people while I could. Had she revived anybody else, I probably would have won that one. But anyways, something was obviously wrong with the William mechanic. Hopefully we can investigate it, figure it out, and hopefully they patch it sooner rather than later. But hopefully we see things turn around, and then if you have any ideas for William teams, my initial thought was, like I said, William and Emily, or William and Zom, protecting those two people that you just basically need to stay alive and not get killed by Agnon right away. So any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave them below, and we will talk about those next time. All right, thanks.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.